On Rafael Devers, there is more drama, though, Keefe. Devers was supposed to get into a game soon.
Today.
Was today the day?
So
I was going to say by the end of the week. Today was the day?
I think last week, I forget if it was Cora or somebody else was saying the plan was he'll play third base and be in the lineup on Wednesday.
Okay.
He is not.
Yesterday, this came out. I'm reading from Ian Brown. It turns out that Devers will not make his debut tomorrow, now today. He still doesn't feel, quote-unquote, up to speed at the plate.
What?
During live BP.
All right.
And he asked Alex Cora for a little more time. Keefe, is this significant news in any way? How big of a deal is this? You can jump in on it on the phones. How do you feel about that?
So they have 3 weeks or whatever until the first regular season game, but it is obnoxious that you have your $300 million guy who made a big deal about not moving off of third base, not doing what's best for the team, but doing what's best for himself. But he's also not even ready to go. Like, showing up out of shape or showing up kind of banged up from what? Like, what's the problem here? Like, modern day athletes are supposed to be in shape all year round.
Yeah.
Way back in the day, sure, you use spring training or you use training camp to get into shape. But those guys also had other jobs and they weren't making $300 million. So it's just annoying. And we've seen what can happen when a guy gets off to a slow start. It wasn't due to injury, but Jeremy Swayman and the Bruins, they dragged out the contract thing. He wasn't able to go opening day, but he played in the second game. And then he and the team just couldn't get out of their own way. And then we're kind of in this situation now. So
I'll give you another one. It came up when we were talking about Swayman the other day, and he's a guy the Patriots have been linked to, Brandon Ayuk. It was also contract related. It wasn't injury related.
Yeah, he had a tough year.
The guy had no offseason. He got off to a slow start. Once he started to hit his stride, he got hurt. There's probably correlation there when you don't go through the offseason the way you're supposed to. Same thing with Jeremy Swayman. Same thing with this guy.
Jordan Montgomery, Blake Snell. They're both pitchers, but they signed right before the season, and there was a lost year for both of them. They're both terrible. And it's March 5th, so we still have some time, but really not ideal. Like, how are you not ready to go yet? And then how long is this going to go? Baseball players seemingly always take forever. So if you're not ready now, like when are you going to be ready?
Yeah, and I would just file it under something that certainly isn't good news. Like, you can tell me it's not a huge deal. You can tell me that what you just said, Keith, there's still a lot of time to sort this out. Like, I'll allow for all of that. Don't tell me it's good news in any way.
How about
that he's behind schedule?
Spin it.
Yeah, go ahead, spin.
Into a good news scenario. This is what you use to convince him that he's just going to be a DH. And you say, all right, you're going to work your way back. Just focus on what you can do hitting-wise. We don't want any kind of setbacks in the field. Don't even worry. Don't even put your glove on. It doesn't make any sense. Everything you're doing from this moment forward is going to be about being the best hitter you can be possible. And then you can even be like, hey, and once you're full go, then maybe we can play third base. But let's really focus on this. And then you sort of start the season with him being the DH, and there's sort of that fallback on, well, that's because he was a little bit banged up. He was
behind.
He was 100%. So this was the quickest way to get him back to the major league level. I don't know, maybe
it's good for the team.
Help his pride a little bit or something.
It's good for the team, but it's him holding it up. I mean, he's the one who went to Cora.
Yeah.
According to Cora, he's the one who went to Cora and said, I need more time.
Great.
So you would think a competitive athlete would say, oh, this Bregman guy's here. I'm going to go show him. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to be ready day one. And I'm going to be fielding my position. This guy's like, no, yeah. Bregman, you take more of my time. More time for you to get comfortable at a new position. Less time for me to come back and get in shape at my position. And so at minimum, you can't spin it as good news. And I would file this under bad news for the Red Sox and bad news as it relates to Devers. Again, if anything's going to drag the team down, I don't think it's their talent level. You know, they spent money this offseason. They've added. So if anything's going to drag them down, it's stuff like this. And I don't like reading more drama surrounding Rafael Devers.